Dude, I need your technical VP.
Oh, here we go. All right, we're live. There we go. I was worried. The little circle kept going. All right, we are live, everyone. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday evening, everyone. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay, I'm not. Bam. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday evening. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button. Again, please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share as well. Please share the content. We are approaching 100K on a subscription situation. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And once we hit 100K, we have a special giveaway for a lucky subscriber. Brandon, since you are a subscriber, you are eligible for the giveaway. So again, we have a lucky giveaway for the lucky subscriber. Without further ado, we have a special guest on with us today, being fed cherries by his wife. And see, this is the thing. A lot of you guys get upset at Brandon. A lot of you guys claim you don't like Brandon. But Brandon is a black man married to a black woman with a black family. You know, again, black love personified right here. So why you guys want to put asterisk marks by Brandon when he has his beautiful black family?
Right.
So without further ado, we have brother Brandon on with us today. Pan-Africanism strikes back. And today's topic, why are black American men looking for love in Africa? I can tell you one reason. Ain't no, I'm going to put you on child support, you know. Ain't no, women in Africa cannot weaponize this sick child support system in Africa. Okay. And a lot of you sisters out there are like, well, there are a lot of deadbeat dads out there. Listen, deadbeat dads don't pay child support. You might get $5 a month out of a deadbeat dad. Like the dads who are actually doing something, who are actually involved, taking care of their kids, they're the ones that get child support weaponized against them. All right. That's who I told you guys this story. When I was in child support court, right? This is back in 2019. I think it was September, 2018. I'm sorry. It was September or October 2018. Fulton County Court. So they call everybody in, right? They call everybody in. Women on one side, men on the other side. And to throw it and to add to the situation, the men, they had their new spouse or girlfriend, they came to the child support hearing with them, right? So they start calling us up one by one into like a little room. So I remember I was sitting next to dude and his spouse or his new wife or his new girlfriend, right? And so dude's baby mama had went into the room. She walks out. So me and dude and his wife were talking. She walks out, right? Walks directly up to dude and his wife, his new girlfriend, and is like, you got to pay me $1,000 today. And if you don't, we ain't leaving here. Because I know you ain't got the money, nigga. I was like, right in front of his lady. And I don't like to use the N-word, but that's what she said. Nigga, I know you ain't got the money, so we're going to be here all day. I'm just like, oh, my God. I'm like, oh, goodness. And again, you walk in, it's a cattle call. You got the men on one side. You got the women on one side. And then you throw in the new spouse or the new wife or new girlfriend into the equation. And it's just tense. And like I said, that woman walked out the room, walked up to her baby daddy and the baby daddy's new wife or new girl. You got to give me $1,000 today.
You know, Dinus, they already.
We gonna be here all day, nigga. I was like, oh my God. So just dealing with that, going through the process, listening to these cases, listening to this foolishness that these women were wanting, you know, these educated women. There was one, here we go, here's another one. So, you know, I'm at a trial date, or not trial date, a deposition or check-in or whatever the hell you want to call it. And so this woman, it was a divorce. So she was asking for just a crazy amount of child support and alimony. And the judge was like, no, I'm not acting. I'm dead serious. Guys, I promise you. Like, I wish this didn't happen. This was so embarrassing on so many levels. It was so embarrassing. Like, I swear, it was so embarrassing. So, and the judge was talking to the lady because the lady was requesting all this money. And so the judge asked the lady, like, aren't you college educated? And she said yes. And the judge was like, well, you need to get a job. I'm not giving you this amount. So I'm just saying, like, not having to deal with this wicked system here in America. Yeah, I can't do it. And every woman says, well, Dinah's, all women ain't like that, all this and all that. But you just can't risk it these days. You can't risk it.
Can you
go ahead, Brandon? Yeah, go ahead. I hear you.
So here's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's a great place for deadbeat dads because they think men are going there to try to avoid taking care of their children. I have not met one brother who has a baby in Africa who doesn't take care of it, right? I don't hear African women talking about the Black American dude who came through, had a baby by him, and didn't take care of the baby, right? I don't see no videos. You can go look that up on YouTube. You won't find it. Just like I can't find white women talking about why I left this country, I was assaulted and all this shit, right? You don't hear white women making videos about Africa like that, or Asians. The reality is people act different based on what's available to them. So it's not the men who are deadbeats. It's the mothers who become irrational and egotistical, knowing that they are operating within a system that 9 times out of 10 is going to take their side against the child's father. So the woman might want you for sexual reasons or romantic reasons. She will just use the child support system to punish you for not wanting to be with her romantically, or for not wanting to live your life as a hostage in a relationship with her.
Oh, let me real quick, guys. So I want to address this whole no other races of men no complain about child support. That's a lie. I just had the lead. I just had the lead attorney, who's a divorce attorney, on here a couple weeks ago. He was on last night. He was on the week before last, and that same question was asked, and he said himself that the majority of his clients are white men, and they're catching hell.
Dinus,
as well. Go ahead.
Just go to any child support group online. The majority of the people in there are white men. That's why there's actually legislation and shit moving to try to change the child support system, because you even have very powerful white men who are victims of the child support court. You think these dudes want to pay $14,000 a month in child support and stuff like that? Like, what kid needs $14,000 a month? No kid. But dudes are getting caught up like that. So the whole thing is this. Women weaponize the child support system. And they use it the same way like they use the police force. They use it to try to punish black men for not just doing what they want him to do. That's the reality. So black men aren't going to other countries to find love and have babies and have families because they just don't want to take care of their kids and their deadbeat dad. Listen,
but you know what's crazy, Brandon? Let me jump in for a second. And this is something they don't want to talk about. Now, the majority of the I would say individuals who abandon their children in America to go to Africa on YouTube have been women.
That's facts.
And that's facts. No cap, like as the young folks say. Hopefully I use that right. That's facts. It's been women. And I'm not going to name any names.
No, yeah.
But it's been women who've been leaving their children, in America to go chase long stroke Kwame. Pause. In Africa. Those are facts. Go ahead, Brandon.
Man, listen. The whole thing is black men don't leave because they don't want to take care of their children. Most deadbeat dads are not going to be traveling to Africa. I have an uncle who's a deadbeat dad. You got echo.
I don't hear it on my end. Go ahead. You good. Go ahead.
But I got an uncle who is, the guy is 45 years old. The guy got about 3 kids in every state in America. He ain't talking about going to Africa because they freeze your child support if you don't, they freeze your passport if you don't pay child support. So the deadbeat dads are staying right here in America. They can't go nowhere. They don't got no driver's license. They ain't got no passport. So to say black men are going to Africa because they don't want to take care of their kids, that's just a cop-out. What that is black women trying to negate the fact that they're weaponizing the child support system, the police departments across America against the black men. So now he's become disenchanted with them, and he's realizing he can go get him a black queen somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? You're not the only black people on earth. That's why I believe that there's a lot of women radicalized in this ADOS movement too, because I believe there's a level of jealousy too when it comes to saying, well, we're all Africans, because what they know is that further dilutes an already watered down dating pool of black men. Because then if a black man's like, yo, I get the same credit for going and getting me a black woman in Africa as I do for getting me a black woman here in America, now they have to struggle because they have to drop a lot of their entitlement. Like the show I did this morning. Black women are entitled in America. They think they're entitled to your money. They're entitled to your love and romance and affection. And more importantly, they feel like you should have to bow down to them. So when you go to a society where the women are submitting to their men, they get angry about that. And I'm telling you, as time goes on, the proof is in the pudding. It's like my grandma used to say, it's going to tell on you before you tell on it. The proof is in the pudding. Black men, my bro Rami Peso is about to start a whole channel dedicated to just hooking black men up with sisters in Uganda, bro. You go on 3 dates with a girl in Africa, she talking about, I want to marry you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? She ready to wash your drawers by hand, cook you food every night. She comes pre-packaged, ready to go. It's like you getting a bike and it's already assembled and everything. You don't got to put nothing together. Or you go buy a bed or something and it's already assembled. That's an African woman versus a black woman who's like, yo, I got all this trauma, but then I got this trauma and I got this, I've been abused by all these Pookies and Ray Rays I've been dating. And then on top of that, I'm going to try to weaponize the white man's system against you while telling you you need to be defending me from the white man. This is why brothers are leaving America and going to Africa to find love. Black men want black women, but black men want black women, not black females by gender, but in their mind, they acting like they harder than the hardest homie from your hood. The black men don't want macho black women, and they're willing to use their money and their time to go find the women they want. Now, don't bring her back to America now, but when you find her, they'll marry her, come back and work, provide for her, and then figure it out as they go along on how they're going to be with her.
Now, Brandon, Lisa Presley just said, well, men shouldn't impregnate these women and not marry them. But then let's talk about the statistics once they get married. Who's initiating the divorce?
Women.
At what percentage?
Like 80, like 50%, 50, like 70%.
Like 60%. And then if it's an educated woman, the percentage is 90%. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And then these and this has been my experience. I could be wrong. I don't have the statistics about it. I don't have the statistics on it. The majority of sisters who I know who don't put their men on child support. Again, I said the majority, not all, the majority When they start describing their baby daddies don't have anything anyway. You know, you're not going to get anything out of them anyway if you put them on child support. So I just hear a lot of sisters in here, well, I didn't put my man on child support. Okay, well, again, I could be wrong. I'm just saying the majority of conversations I had, not all, but the majority, dudes don't have two nickels to rub together anyway. So you're not going to get anything out of them anyway.
They can't count his pockets because he don't got no money. So, like, they usually with a Pookie and Ray Ray when they don't put him on child support because they know if they try to put him on child support, one, he probably going to come beat their ass. Two, he ain't going to give them no dick. And three, they not going to get nothing anyway. So they rather be the cool baby mama to him and just take whatever little pennies he can give them, if anything, right? Like, when I was young, my father was in prison. But when my dad got out, my mom never tried to put my dad on child support. Now, when my mom had a baby by a dude who was in the Navy, soon as she got a chance, she tried to go put him on child support. It's almost like if you down at the bottom with them and you ain't got shit, they feel like, damn, I'm more connected to you. But if you're a dude who work every day and go earn your money, they look at you like you an enemy, like it's a class. It almost feels like a class warfare type thing. Oh, if he a Pookie and he ain't got no money, oh, that's my nigga. Me and him, we still good friends. But if it's like a dude who's hardworking, middle class dude, it's like they're attacking your pockets. And I'm telling you, it's like, dang, Miss Blue Love, dick is plentiful, huh? Okay, but the thing is, you know, these women, that's why when the dudes go to Africa, they got to try to find a way to like diminish it. So what you're going to see is a lot of women angry in the chat talking about how men this, men that, men this, but totally will not acknowledge the role that they play in their disenchantment. They're like in the damage that's being done. You got it to the point where even men who got no kids are afraid to deal with you based on the behavior of your sistren who try to weaponize the white man's systems against black men. The only dude who cares about child support is the dude who's trying to do something with his life. Y'all just trying to get a paycheck. Y'all trying to figure out how to not have to work. You know what I'm saying? So y'all trying to get as much as you can out of him. And it works. It works in America. But then when you deadbeat, you don't get nothing. And you can just chalk it up as a loss. And just now you got 4 kids walking around by 4 different dudes. And you ain't getting a penny. And that's okay. But let the dude be successful. Dynasty, they're going to try to take him for everything he got.
Hey, Black Beauty, but women were never meant to work, though.
No, you guys wanted to go work. You let white men and white women radicalize you to the point where you felt like I could do better all by myself. Let me tell you something. Thomas Sowell. I know most black people hate Thomas Sowell, but he's always accurate. The black family survived 400 years of slavery. Most kids who were in slavery grew up in 2-parent homes. Even when you look at the slave movies, they grew up in 2-parent homes. Remember Kizzy Kente and Roots? She had 2 parents. Most slave children had 2 parents. The black family survived 400 years of slavery. It didn't even survive 1 generation of welfare. Soon, 1 generation of welfare destroyed the black family. 1 generation of government entitlements, Section 8, child support, welfare, food stamps, totally destroyed black families. And that's why you see high divorce rates among women, because now women are like, I don't need a man. I can get rid of him and still have access to his money, his resources. So that works to tear down relationships. And you don't see a bunch of Asians and Mexicans doing that, because a Mexican is like, look, that's the father of my kid. If I tear him down, my kids are going to lose at the end of the day, because we know y'all not using the child support to just take care of the kids. Y'all are.
This is where I want to interject too. I'm noticing, this is what I'm also noticing. So, Brandon, you can use child support, right, as a source of income in order to get a home, right?
Yep.
I'm noticing that sisters who aren't getting child support are getting homes, have more assets, versus sisters who get child support.
Right.
Who do it on their own.
Right. And the thing is this, when you look at what black women are doing, they're doing what they do best. They're just imitating white women. Black women see a white woman do something, they're like, I could do that. But here's the thing, sis, you got it so figured out. You're literally drinking 3 bottles of wine a night. You're crying yourself to sleep. You crying to your mama because you're lonely. But you're so stubborn in trying to stand on the square of the independent woman nonsense. You're sabotaging every relationship you get into. And then when you sabotage the relationship, you're okay with that because it's not going to bring you to financial ruin. Now, could you imagine if they didn't have child support diners? These women would be way more selective about who they opening their legs for. If they didn't have child support, these women would be way more willing to work it out. Okay, babe, like, I understand. Let's talk about it. Let's try to work through it. This is why your grandma and your grandpa stayed married for 45, 50 years and you can't find a man, because they had incentives to work their relationship out. You have incentive to ruin your relationship and then complain about it later when you're all psychologically messed up because you destroyed good relationship. Every woman dying is over 35 years old or over 30 has had at least one relationship that she purposely sabotaged and regrets, wishes she could go back to. Just talk to women. They'll tell you. They'll be like, man, yeah, there was this one guy. I probably should have married him. Why didn't you? Because you was too busy thoughting it up. Oh, I could always find somebody better, right? And in reality, it wasn't the case. Look at these. Let's do Bisbula. Brandon, you do know that the majority that black women and minorities didn't get child support until like the 60s or 70s. And also men were in the home and the families got welfare. Get the facts right. Well, guess what? You notice in the 60s and 70s is when the black family started to fall apart. So immediately when black women started being able to get child support and stuff, the black families started breaking down. So why are you bringing up facts? In the 50s, black homes were strong. You saw that movie, The Help, or you saw that movie, Devil in a Blue Dress. Those movies took place in like the 30s, the 40s, right? Right? So, but one thing about those movies that you noticed was every black person was married. In The Help, the lady who was the maid, what's the lady name who played the maid in The Help?
Viola Davis, yeah.
She was married. She was married, but she was leaving her house every day to go take care of white people's kids. The black family was intact. The black man was working. The black woman was working as well. It wasn't, so you can't say, oh, black women entering the workforce broke up black families. Black women and men have always been in the workforce, whether it was for free during slave labor or for pay during Jim Crow and segregation. That's not what destroyed black families. What destroyed black families is when women realize I can leave my husband over something small and petty and I will still be financially okay. And what did they do? They let their white friends tell them, oh, yeah, you need to leave him. You don't have to take that. They left, got on welfare. They didn't work. Their kids got out in the streets, gang banging and doing everything else. And we are in the situation that we are in today. This is why black men, to bring it back to the topic, are leaving black American women alone, and they're going to find love in Africa. Because black women, you could tell me anything you want. You could fillet it in fast food if you want to. There's no arguing with the facts. Your men can go get the type of woman they want somewhere else, which means what? You are quickly losing your position as the type of woman we want. You got white men running to Africa to get women. You got black men running to Africa and Colombia and shit to get women. It's not just black men. It's any group of men whose women are out of line, misbehaving, and off code. So while you attacking me and saying stuff about me, why don't you look at how off code you really are instead of just killing the messenger? Because I don't have to talk about your issues. I have my wife. I have my loving marriage. And it's in a marriage is give and take, and it's a lot of hard work. Y'all don't want to work hard. You don't want to lose weight. You don't see my wife out here 400 pounds, letting herself go. Oh, I got 2 kids and stupid shit like that. My wife said, look, I feel like eating some ridiculous stuff. I'm just going to have a salad or something because I'm not trying to get my weight out of control. How many of you guys just let yourself go because you're pregnant? Even in Africa, you don't see women blowing up the size of 3 houses because they got 1 or 2 kids. You guys just don't give a shit about nothing other than winning frivolous arguments. You don't take care of your body. Don't take care of your health, right? And Slim Creeper, you're 100% right. I am big. I am big. But guess what? I've secured mine. I'm not out here 300 pounds and single. I ain't out here freaking stomach hanging over my damn belt all the way to my kneecaps talking about all I want is somebody to love me for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. There's a guy who played in the NFL. He's 400 pounds. The guy already won his titles and shit. He don't got to walk around in shape. Look at, is his name Eric Snow from the Sixers? That guy's like 300 pounds, right?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Right? But the thing is, he's already achieved the goal that you're trying to reach. So what I'm telling you as a married man, keep yourself together. Work on your attitude. My brother Craven Newt, beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful. She's not walking around with high blood pressure, bro. And y'all don't understand. Men value women, like Kevin Samuel says, based on fertility and youth. That doesn't mean you have to actually be young, but you got to be capable. If my wife says, Brandon, hey, Ryan, come here real quick. Let me give you an example, Dinah.
Mm-hmm.
My wife never thought she could jog a long distance, right? Like 2-3 miles, right? Babe, who is the first person who showed you could jog long distance? Okay, I don't know if you heard her say you did, right? Because she talked kind of low. But the point I'm making is this. You can call me fat, but babe, if you say let's go jog, if you say let's go do this, let's go, can I not do that?
Yeah. No, like, for real, I don't know what it was, but Brandon took me to my 3rd, 4th win. I was surprised. And we were uphill too.
Exactly. I go run with my wife 3 miles, 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? You can say, Brandon, you fat, but I'm capable. I'm capable. You a female and you can't even make it halfway down the block. You can't even go 30 seconds straight. And you're talking about, I just want somebody who loves me for me. No, you just want somebody to settle for you. Settle for your bad attitude. Settle for your smart mouth. Settle for your lazy behavior and your defiance and insubordination. And black men are sick of it. That's why they're going to leave you. It's like in the Bible, right? What did Jesus tell the Israelites? He said, that is, you are stiff-necked. I tried to help you. You didn't want it. That's why I'm going to take, I'm going to take the blessing that was given to you, and I'm going to give it to somebody else who deserves it. I had a sister come with me to Kenya. There was some dudes like, you need to pay for my food and stuff. She said, damn, B, some of these dudes expect me to pay for them. I said, welcome to Africa, right? Right? She said, I don't like that. I said, damn, black American men don't seem so bad now, do they? She said, nah, they seem great. Y'all are spoiled and entitled. You live in a country where if a man asks you out to dinner, he could pay for dinner. He's not even going to approach you if he can't pay for you. And you guys just act more ungrateful and more ungrateful as time goes along. Everything men do is for the validation of women. It used to be that everything women do, yeah, I burped. I was eating these cherries. Everything women do used to be for the validation of men. Now women are like, I don't need these men's validation. I'm doing this for me. I could do bad all by myself. But then when you walk right past their ass and go to the next woman, black men start marrying white girls and everything like that, now they want to try to complain. No one has to deal with your shit. No one owes you anything. And the more you know that and the more you accept that, the better off your life is going to be. My wife doesn't owe me. She doesn't have to be with me. It's a blessing and an honor that she chooses to be with me. But my wife understands that in the reverse. Brandon doesn't have to be with me. He could go find somebody too. He's a charismatic dude. He's handsome. He might be a little fat, but you know what? You wouldn't be able to tell by the way he is. So, you know, guess what? She appreciates it, and I appreciate her, and we appreciate each other. Let's be real, black women. You guys take black men for granted. You don't appreciate us. You want us to be perfect people. Then you leave us to go get with white dudes, and the white dudes ain't perfect, and you hide it because you don't want to be embarrassed. Let's be real. Let's be real. We know what's going on. Just like a black dude, go get him a white girl and then try to hot like I have a friend. He started, I'm not bashing D. Jones. Please stop trying to evade accountability. For one, you're trying to evade accountability by saying something bash you. You know, sometimes people need to be bashed. It's called tough love. If you don't like it, why are you watching? I'm a married man telling you what the problem is, why you can't get what you say you want. And instead, yes, I sound bitter, but I'm married to my wife. See what I'm saying? It's always an excuse. I'm bitter, but you're single. I got a wife. Nobody wants you, but I'm bitter. It's all deflection. This is what a lot of black people do best. Deflect. Where has it gotten us in all these years? Our families are messed up. Yeah, I guarantee you won't be married for long with that attitude. Anyway, so what has it gotten us in all these years? Just deteriorating families, deteriorating families. It's like somebody points out a real problem, and it's like, yo, you sound bitter. You sound this. But if you complain about what a man do to you, and I say, well, you just sound bitter, what are you gonna feel? You're gonna feel like I'm being dismissive of something you're talking of something that's important to you. And that's another thing black women do very frequently. You guys are dismissive of the way black men feel, but then you want us to sympathize with you. That's why you ain't got no type of relationships that are worthwhile. You look, if you got a bad attitude, you got a bad attitude and be married. Guess what? Your marriage won't last. You won't be happy there, right? This is the reality. But I'm a married man telling you, y'all too busy. Y'all want to go listen to single people give you advice about being married. They are not even married. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to tell you to listen to Kevin Samuels because he's not even married. He makes some facts, but guess what? Theoretical shit is theoretical. You need to put the theories to in action to prove that they're true and they work, right? If you can't get success, if you don't got a car, how the hell can I trust you to tell me how to work on my car? Or your car broke down, but you telling me how to fix my shit. That's not gonna work, right? So the whole thing is this: you got the women who gonna listen, and you got the women who gonna be stiff-necked and hard-headed and masculine, right? I walk past a woman crying her heart out about a dude, this and that. I don't even feel sorry for her because I know.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm here. I'm just eating my dinner, everyone. But I am here. I'm reading the comments. I just had to eat dinner, guys. So I will be back shortly. Go
Listen,
ahead,
my boy in the chat, Romy Peso, I just saw him. I'll try to find him right there. The Queen Maker. He about to start a YouTube channel dedicated to hooking brothers up with women in Uganda, bro. Women in Africa are trying to be chose. They're trying to be chose. They're not being difficult. They're being very helpful. They're doing their job, operating their function. Many of them are smart, college educated, right? Just like Black American women, but they understand their role in a relationship. And they're not making it so hard for their men that their men have to go somewhere else to find love. I go in a restaurant, right? Now, I'm a Black American. I walk in a restaurant in Africa. You know, a lot of the women and stuff know that I probably have a little bit more money than they do that they messing with. You don't see those women looking over at me and, let me go. I'm going to dump this dude so I can go give me a baller. Those women are happy with the men that they got because they're like, look, these are our men and we got to be available for our men. You guys every second are threatening your man. I'm going to go give me a white boy or this and that. You think that makes your men want to really ride for you? You think that makes your men want to be like, yo, let me go out and put my neck out, my skin on the line for these women? No. You think your men hear the horror stories about child support court and divorce court and the women who are entitled when it comes to that, and they're like, yeah, I really want to get me a Black American. They don't. And your men are very vocal in telling you, we're not happy with you. And instead of listening and saying, okay, how can we fix this? You guys rather double down on ignorance that's been programmed into you by white folks. At least, okay, take for example Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a Black dude who's teaching a lot of Black men, you know, their value and talking about what's going on with Black women. You guys are taking your talking points from a bunch of white women who get you radicalized and then go home to their family. Think about this. Black women listen to Beyonce. INDEPENDENT or whatever, right? Independent woman.
Hey, Brandon, if I can interject real quick. Now, you notice not one. So I brought up the whole child support system in the family court situation.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. Okay, women. I want a sister to come on here who agrees that system should be completely eliminated. So that's my complaint. That's a lot of brothers' complaints, is this wicked system, and we bring that up. And now I haven't seen any women saying, you know what, Donis, let's completely get rid of this biased, racist child support family court system. Let's get rid of it. I agree with you, Donis.
They're not going to say that because, one, women don't want other women to be mad at them. So women operate on this face premise like the sisterhood is really strong and we support each other. Women don't support each other. I literally was arguing with a chick next door who's a feminist, and she was talking about women are disproportionately this and this and that. I said women are taken advantage of by women more than anybody, other women. We brought up the movie The Help. Those were white women damn near enslaving those Black women for pennies on the dollar to take care of their kid. Where was the sisterhood then? The ones who sold you feminism never even showed you sisterhood. So when you practice feminism, you best believe that there's not going to be no real camaraderie as sisters, right? No woman's going to say get rid of child support because they know that they're instantly going to be attacked by other women who are like, these men are evil and we got to have a system put in place to protect us, not realizing the damn system was created by men because they got tired of hearing your ass complain about how the men you chose would not take care of their children. You see what I'm saying? There's no reason for even child support because here's the thing, you got welfare. So if you don't get child support, you can go get welfare. Trust me, I know many women will lie about know who their baby daddy is just so they can go get welfare benefits. And Dinas, I'm telling you, that's what they do. They go and lie, right? They go lie, like if they have a baby by Pookie, right? And they don't want Pookie to get put on child support because they still want to get that good D, right? They will lie and say, you know, I had sex with a guy. I didn't even know his name. It was a one night stand. They will sit up in the county office and embarrass themselves to protect Pookie, basically telling the county office, yo, I was a straight hoe, having sex with multiple dudes, don't know exactly who the father is, to protect Pookie. But they damn husband who took care of him for years, who took a chance on him to have a family, they'll get up in child support court and viciously lie and attack him.
Hold on, I want to address a comment. Deidre, what part of, and I mean all due respect, what part of deadbeat dads don't pay child support don't you understand?
Listen,
like what part of the deadbeat dads, you might get $50 a month out of a deadbeat dad. So I don't understand like what part of when the argument is, well, these men will take care of their kids. Yeah, deadbeat dads you're not gonna get anything out of a deadbeat dad. It's the good dads who are getting hit over the head.
Hey, listen, Dinas, I'll tell you a true story. Ryan, come here real quick. I'll tell you a true story to show you that this chick is full of crap. I have a friend, right? I ain't gonna say his name. This was my best friend, Dinas. This was my best homie since little kids, right? His baby mama called me and was like, yo, tell your friend that his son needs some new shoes. He got 2 kids They don't live in the same state no more. The mama moved out of state. So I hit him up like, I said, oh, he don't give you money? She's like, yo, Tuck, which is what my friends call me. She's like, these kids are like 10 and 11, and I've never received a penny from this dude. This whole time, I'm thinking this dude paying child support, taking care of his 2 sons. You feel me? He wasn't paying nothing, working a great job. I go to the dude like, hey, your baby mom's hit me up. She said you're not responding to her. She said you need to buy the kids some shoes. They need shoes. You feel me? The guy says, yeah, I ain't talking to her. Tell her I said just send me a list of what they need and the sizes, and I'll put it in a box and send it, right? So I go to her, tell her what he said. She said, Tuck, he been saying that for years. He don't never do it, right? So I said, well, let's give him a chance. Let's see if maybe he's going to do something different. She gives me the list. I give it to him. A month go by. She hit me up. Your friend still ain't sent nothing. I hit him up. I said, bro, what's the deal? Like, you were supposed to send the box with the kid's stuff. He like, yeah, man. You know, somebody has stole all my jewelry. So when I got paid, I went and bought more jewelry to replace the jewelry that got stolen or whatever. I hit her up. I said, yeah, yo, you're gonna have to just put this dude on child support because this dude, he's an excuse maker. He ain't trying to. I mean, we kind of told her when she was laying up with the dude, like, are you sure you want to be boning this dude unprotected? Because the dude's real immature. She still did it, whatever. That's on her and him. But she knew who she was dealing with. You feel me? But the guy wanted to buy jewelry over instead of take care of his kids. She went to child support, put him on child support. Now she gets money every week from him for child support. Men hold other. Look, I literally stopped being friends with it. Ryan, right or wrong?
No, that's true. You didn't talk to him no more because I had asked, like, what? You haven't talked to your friend in a while? He was like, I am not talking to that nigga. I don't fuck with niggas that don't take care of their kids.
Exactly. Most men don't even fuck with other men. Sorry, they don't even mess with other men who don't take care of their children. If a dude hang around a dude who ain't taking care of his kids and the dude knows he's not, that dude is a bum just like the dude who not taking care of his kids, bro. Most men don't. Dinus, you a man. How often do you hang around with dudes who just are deadbeat dads, don't take care of their kids?
I don't know any deadbeat dads. I don't hang out with any deadbeat dads.
Same. I don't know any deadbeat dads. The one dude I knew who was a straight deadbeat dad, literally, I stopped being friends with him. Our friendship was like long, and I stopped being friends with him. Men who take care of their children don't hang around deadbeat dads because it makes us feel bad when we looking at dudes spurging money, spending money on women, and their kids is hungry or ain't got no shoes. Kids walk around looking raggedy. I want somebody who's around their kids. So when they got their kid, I can say, hey, I'm gonna come through and bring my kid over too. And we could, watch sports or play games, and our kids could go entertain each other. Men with kids mostly don't even hang around men with no kids. So what are you talking about? Most men don't hang around deadbeat dads. And even these women can tell you they don't know no man who's a good dad who really go and hang around deadbeat dads. Because if the dude's a freaking deadbeat, he ain't got no money, and I don't hang around broke dudes. You feel me? Most of the time, he ain't got no money. I don't know any dudes with all kinds of paper and they squabbling over $400 a month with their baby mama. That's real. Deidre said, my husband pays child support from a previous marriage, and the children live with us. It's been a battle to reverse anything. Exactly, Deidre. So it ends up backfiring on women who are trying to do their part. Like that guy literally pays child support and takes care of his kid. And when you look at things, look at these men on child support, you will see that many times that is the case. A lot of men go to child support court and say, look, I got my kids 50% of the time. They still get put on child support. Still. And then the mama say, well, if you don't keep on watching the kids, I'm just not going to let them see you at all. So the men's forced to then get abused because the kids get put off on him all the time. And he's even afraid to send them back to the mom because he thinks that if he ruins her ability to have freedom to go out and find random D, then she's going to try to punish him by not letting him see his kids. Child support is a system that really at the end of the day doesn't benefit nobody. Because even the women who have the dudes who are deadbeats, those women 9 times out of 10 don't even put those dudes on child support anyway. They don't. I got a chick I know, she got a deadbeat baby daddy, he's a pookie. I said, why don't you put him on child support? She was like, he didn't sign the birth certificate. I said, well, go get a DNA test. She said, I did. But then when I got the DNA test, we had sex and he was like, babe, don't turn in that DNA test. Then she let the DNA test go past 21 days. If it go past 21 days, the court rejects the results because it could have an impact on the results if you wait a long time to send the shit back in, right? You over here, and that's what's happening. These chicks want to still screw these dudes so they don't put them on child support. You know, like, you see what I'm saying? So when you talk about deadbeats, the deadbeat shit is perpetuated by women who put good deed over taking care of their children. So I'm not going to believe that. And all the women who talk trash, talk your shit, boo. But it's going to tell on you before you tell on it. I don't drink wine. My wife is not consuming 3 bottles of wine. She don't even drink wine. She don't even drink. You drinking 3 bottles of wine and getting pissy a night and getting pissy drunk on the weekend because you so damn depressed because your baby daddy, your ex, he won't take care of his kids. He won't pay child support, but you're scared to put him on child support. Or you mad because your ex-husband is with somebody new now, and now you want to punish him for being happy, for moving on. Because if you leave somebody and they quickly find somebody new and another woman quickly wants to enter a relationship with them, what is that telling you? That's telling you that 9 times out of 10, you're the problem. You're the problem. And how many women do you see out here like that? They baby daddy that moved on, got married, had a family, right? Guess what? You still single. You taking random deeds from all these dudes, hoping one of them decides to keep you. They all written the pussy, and you hoping one of them decides to buy. There's a reason for that. Because 9 times out of 10, you're the problem. And our women, instead of being not like logical, like the Bible says, somebody said I'm a Hebrew Israelite, so I'm gonna quote the Bible. The Bible says the man who rejects correction is a fool. We try to correct our women. This is not coming from Kevin Samuels. This is not coming from Alpha Male Strategies or any of that stuff. This is coming from a black man who is married. I am not an easy person to deal with, but I found the woman for me, and she found the man for her, and I support her 100% in everything she tries to do, and vice versa. I'm looking down from the mountaintop trying to tell you, this is what you're going to have to change about the way that you're approaching this situation. The wise women, like the women who support Kevin Samuels and stuff, they're going to change the way they look at things, and they're going to have success. The foolish women are going to keep being ignorant and stiff-necked, and they're going to stay in the fire. No woman wants to be alone. No woman wants to have children, and the children's like, where's my daddy? Or I don't even know who your daddy is, type stuff like that, right? But guess what? You guys will deal with that because of what? Your ego. Because Beyonce said it. Beyonce told you she was a feminist and then went home and had a happy marriage with her husband who cheats on her. And she still stayed with him, right? At this point, Kim Kardashian, a chick who had been passed around like the salt and pepper at Thanksgiving, had a marriage with Kanye West that was longer than any relationship you've ever had, and was truly supportive of him. But you got to y'all from the same neighborhood. Y'all came from the same circumstances. He needs you, you need him, right? But you know what? Nah, I'm going to tear this down. Why? So I could win some frivolous argument. I ain't subjecting myself to him. I work just like he do. It can be equal 50-50 and all this. You know how y'all start talking. So what you say you want, you might think you want that. But in reality, you're not willing to do what it takes to get that. You feel me? Let's not even mention STD rates. Here we go, dude. It's always STDs. Just look, STDs are passed along among single folks. Y'all talking about single people passing STDs mostly, and y'all relating that to married folks, people destroying marriages, people taking people to putting people on child support, even when they take care of them. I know a dude, him and his wife got a divorce, right? She put him on child support. He moved back in, right? Because she couldn't afford, even with child support, she couldn't afford the bills. He moved back in. He told her, look, now that I'm living here, can you take me off child support? This chick told him, I'm never taking you off child support. I'm never taking you off child support. The dude moved back in with you. You betrayed him, and and this guy was literally taking care of his daughters and everything. It was actually one of my sister's boyfriend. The daughters lived with them, 100%. But then when they broke up, he went back with the ex-wife with the kids. She still wouldn't take this dude off child support. And there are thousands of stories like this. Black women have weaponized the white man's systems against their men. That's why black men are and should go to Africa to find them a mate. There are millions of black eligible women over there who want to be with you. You might find a diamond in the rough, like my wife, right? My wife is truly something special, but mostly it's a bunch of entitled chicks who are drunk off of the white man's handouts, looking at you like you're lower than dirt because you can't give them what the white man can give them. So they basically feel like they can disrespect you, argue you up and down, and treat you like crap. And every man in this chat knows it. Go ahead.
Guys, so link is in the chat room. I just placed a link in the chat room. Click on that link. We're going to take a couple callers. We're not going to be here all night. We'll take 2 callers. So link is in the chat room. Click on the link if you want to call in and add to the conversation. And I like to hear from the sisters. So again, we'll take 2 to 3 callers at the most. We're not going to be here all night. So click on the link and join the conversation. And everyone who super chatted, will I see you? Everyone, thank you so much for the super chats.
Somebody said, no, black men are not fit to marry abroad. 70% of them are not in the homes in America. Dude, do you think black men leave their homes in America willingly? A lot of them are not in the home because their wife divorced them because she's like, yo, I can get rid of this dude, go out and date Pookie and Ray Ray and still make them pay my bills. That's what's going on. Go ahead, subs to Kevin Sells.
How you guys doing? I'm strolling the YouTube streets. I happened to fall upon you guys' video. I never heard about the channel. However, I will subscribe after I leave the panel.
Thank you.
I dibble and dabble in a lot of conversations. By the way, I'm sub to Kevin Sells, if you don't mind me telling people that. I dibble and dabble in a lot of socioeconomic and political talk, and particularly about the African diaspora, primarily about the continent itself. When I was a younger man, when I was in my early 20s, when I was in college, you know, I got a lot of coochie. I'm sorry, I don't know how you guys talk on here, by the way. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Okay, I got a lot of college food. No problem.
I got a lot of coochie in college.
No problem.
But let me tell you something, man. So my parents are of Nigeria. My parents are Nigerian, so I'm a Nigerian American.
What part?
From oh my God, Jesus Christ. Oh, they're from Lagos. They're from Lagos.
Okay.
Are you Nigerian?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yoruba, Igbo?
Yoruba.
Oh, Yoruba. Okay. I got a lot of coochie in college, but I had never been around African women on like that. My parents, you know, when they got over here, they pretty much became super Americanized. Mm-hmm. And the thing of the matter is that I started dating women from Congo. I dated one Burkinabe, Burkina Faso. I dated one Cameroonian. And I dated several other women from the continent. I dated also Liberian women. It is our divine right as Black men. It is our divine right by the universe to only be with women who are prim and proper. Women who acquiesce power to the man. Now, the man, of course, has to be respectable and responsible. But I noticed that with the Black American woman, that mouth gets her into a lot of trouble. That attitude gets her into a lot of trouble. But when I was around African women, and I'm talking about African women, I'm not talking about African chicks who were born here and who are Americanized. I'm talking about African women who actually lived in Africa. They were born there. They are African, depending on what place in Africa. These women wouldn't even let me and my friends even into a kitchen. They would tell us, leave the kitchen. What are you doing in here? We are going to take over things for now. I would get invited places, and when I used to get drunk, for some reason I like cleaning up. And the thing of the matter is that the African women, they clean up. They are prim and proper, not all of them. And you gotta keep them away from Black American women. You got to. You do. You don't want. I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of well, not if not a lot, but most African countries were under colonialism, so they have a little bit of the West and Western ideologies. But a lot of those women still maintain traditional ideologies as well. And the thing is that it's your divine right as a Black man to expect prim and proper, sweet women, period, point blank. And if you don't, you're going to get a loudmouth, ratchet chick like Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion. And that's all I'm saying. I don't know if you guys agree with me. I'm on one right now, as African Americans would say.
Who wants to live in a house with somebody who feel like they could just talk to them any kind of way? Like this is my shit.
Yeah.
You ain't about to just disrespect me and my shit. Like, and I'm not saying it in the sense of like I'm trying to just shut you down, but if your husband be like, be quiet, you need to be quiet. Let me tell you, if my wife be like, Brandon, shut up, I'ma just shut up.
Yeah.
Because I know if she say that, I know I'm running my mouth too much. Sometimes I go too far. But vice versa, babe, just shut up. You tripping. She just let it go.
Yeah.
My wife might be on my daughter about something. I walk in like, I don't want to hear that shit. Leave her alone. My wife knows it's time to stop. Ain't no, nigga, this my kids. And you know how you didn't heard that. You didn't heard that before. It's just like a man has to be able to rule his house. And a woman also rule the house. But the thing is, your man has to feel like, yo, once we go in these walls, he's in charge. You ain't had no daddy in your life. So your mama done bossed up on you every day.
Yeah.
And now you get a home and get with a dude and you think that you supposed to be running the roost. That's not how this shit works.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if you don't evolve, you're going to die. Black American women, it's time to evolve your way of thinking. And actually, it's got to evolve. It's going to kind of devolve because it's going to go back to what it used to be versus when it got corrupted. So it's time to deprogram the corruption and get back to the way you used to do things and the way you used to think. And the same thing for Black men. But Black men, we do things to validate women. If y'all telling us you could do it all by yourself and all that, we're going to give you exactly what we want. You won't. We're going to leave you by yourself because we're not dealing with that shit.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off. Go ahead. There's a big divestment community within the African American and also within the, there's a lot of African women. I've met a lot of women on the West Coast of Africa who are divesting, to white men. And they have a legitimate, in my opinion, a legitimate claim to do that. I think a lot of Black men should start divesting as well. We need to start divesting.
I'm not divesting. That's not about.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about the white women. I'm talking about we need to start divesting in terms of we need to primarily seek out women who are prim and proper that are Black. I'm not talking about white women. I'm talking about Black men. I made live streams on this. I had people threatening to beat me up if they saw me in public. I said that the Black niggas have to stop dating these Cardi B's, these Meg Thee Stallions. You have to shame women who are single mothers. You see a single mother who's pregnant, you need to shame her. Shame on you for continuing the cycle of hopelessness and despair. You and if you do that, I think that change will come with American women, with all types of women. Now, again, you have to be a man that is also on your shit as well. Again, you can't be some scrub on the street demanding things. I'm not married because I want to marry a woman I want to be in a position where I can have a wife that does not have to work for the white man or for any other man. So that's just me. I don't know about you guys, but that's the level that I want to be at. Let me say this. Yeah. This is the reality. Yeah, go ahead.
Why is Black?
And then I'm gonna bring somebody. I'm gonna let you respond, Kevin. I'm gonna bring somebody else on.
Okay. Why is the Black cult community deteriorating in America?
The black, you asking me?
No, I'm saying, I'm answering this. So when you got your women, right, they would rather have 4 kids by 4 different gangbangers and be single mothers than live in a house with a responsible man and have to submit to him. That's our women. They would rather have 4 kids by a gangbanger who's going in and out of jail, which that actually benefits them because they only got to be around them for a while. Then, you know, Pookie going to get locked up again, and she's going to be free to thought around the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you got every hood rat is having 4 kids. The responsible black adults who marry and take care of their kids and stuff, maximum, they're going to have 1 to 2 kids, maybe 3. So what's happening right now is we're losing the numbers war in our community with a bunch of ignorant, ratchet thoughts and Pookies and Ray Rays. Pookie got 7 kids by 7 different women. Dinus got 1 kid. I got 1 kid. Who do you think is going to be controlling the narrative of our community? The 7 kids by Pookie and Ray Ray, or the 2 kids who are going to be raised right? That's why you see over time our culture has begun to be represented by ignorance and ratchetry and coonery, because we are literally outnumbered and outgunned by a bunch of offspring from Pookie, Ray Ray, and Bonquisha.
You're absolutely right.
Projects.
You're absolutely
when we
right.
speak up on it, oh, we're bashing. No, what is it about your mama that made you grow up to where she raised you to think letting 4 and 5 different dudes run up in you and actually taking pregnancies to full term by these dudes was acceptable or the way to go? That shows that there's a problem with our women in their mind.
Yeah. But hey, brother Kevin, right?
Yes.
How can you have your own channel?
I do. I just had it up on the screen. I was
okay. Put it back up so people can subscribe.
Yeah. Yep.
And guys, go subscribe to brother Kevin's channel. We're gonna bring somebody else.
Yeah, Kevin and Sales.
Yeah, it's Kevin and Sales, guys. Thank you for having me up on the panel. Guys, if you're listening, go after prim and proper women, but you also have to be prim and proper yourself. You have to have class too as a man too. And women, there's nothing wrong with dressing conservatively, with dresses down to your ankles. There's nothing wrong with cooking and cleaning and shutting the fuck up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that is attractive to a lot of men. Guys, thank you for having me up on the panel. I definitely will subscribe. I definitely will tell the individuals on my panel to subscribe. And guys, before I leave, everybody in the chat, it's about 300 of you Negroes in here. Donate immediately right now to this beautiful black brother's Cash App or PayPal. Donate $3 a piece. 3 times 300 is 900. Get this beautiful black brother who's preaching the divine word of masculinity and righteousness and order. Let's give him $1,000 right now. Guys, have a good one. Peace.
For sure.
Listen, right. Can they give $3? The thing is, like, for both parties, men and women, it's good to know when to be quiet, and it's good to know when to speak, whether you're a man or a woman. It's not good to feel like every time somebody tell you something that you don't want to do, something you don't want to do, that you got to go off and go crazy on him and he's challenging you. Like, come on, dog. Like, sometimes, like, submission is not like a problem. It's not like an embarrassment. It's actually a sign of strength, you know? So
after woman, go ahead.
Hello, Dinas. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Hello, my Nigerian brother. I like your channel. When I saw you guys were live, I was like, oh, let me watch what you guys are talking about, you know. But it didn't take too long for me to feel like I'm getting a bad taste in my mouth because, you know, I hear all the things guys are saying, and of course there are scenarios where, you know, there are unpleasant experiences. But for me, it just seems like there's so many instances where I hear African-American men say a lot of negative stuff about African-American women. As an African woman We're not here perfect. The way things are being depicted is as if, oh, we don't have a mouth on us too, and oh, keep the African American women away from the African woman.
Oh, like, no. Let me interject. I know you guys have a mouth, but like I said, as long as that mouth cannot weaponize the child support or family court system, we're good. I mean, I'm not going to tolerate it in disrespect, but that's my thing.
Of course. But you know, we're coming from an era. We're coming. Go ahead.
African woman, let me ask you a question. This is based on my life.
Sure.
If you said something to your husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he turned around and said, I'm not about to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like arguing with you. Mm-hmm. And he turns around. Would you then go get a can of cream corn out of the cabinet and hit him in the back of his head with it?
I wouldn't. A reasonable woman would not.
Okay. This is the type of shit my mom and the women in my family used to do. Go get knives and try to stab up their husbands and boyfriends over frivolous arguments about dumb stuff, right?
Okay, with all due respect, Nigerian African women can do that too, but they gotta be the crazy ones.
Listen to what I'm telling you. With all due respect, right? African women do that, right? But the difference is this. An African woman can't just call the police and be like, yo, come take this nigga to jail. A Black American woman can do that. So she's never in a position to where she has to attack her boyfriend or nothing or her husband. Now, if the dude's hitting you or beating you, I get that. But when you're just doing that out of pure jealousy, you accuse a dude, you don't know if he did it or not. You're just like, I'm going to attack this dude. I just don't see African women doing that. Like, I don't see African women trying to argue a man up and down about something stupid. Get the F out my house. You ain't nothing. I don't see that. I've been to Africa several times.
I'm glad you said you don't. And I hate to cut you. I'm glad you said you don't, right? But there are many women who do that. Not just Nigerian women, not just Ghanaian women. Many women do that, okay? If in a scenario where maybe, I don't know, anything can happen, you cannot necessarily say something is dependent on a particular person because of where they're from, okay? I would say this. I've been in America for a very long time, and my experience when maybe I have a conversation with an African-American man or whatever, I constantly notice how much respect and value African-American women have for their men. And don't say you don't notice that. You notice that. African-American women are super supportive, super protective of their men in the general sense in comparison to how I've seen African-American men try to protect their women. African-American men in comparison, and I can also say that, right, because it's just my opinion. African-American men are not as protective as they are with their women. You mostly see African-American men dating outside of their race and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. However,
so tell me this. How, okay, tell me, when you say protect their women, tell me how they're not. Because from the statistics I see,
in comparison to how much
African American women, and what do you want us to do? Fight the police for them or what?
Oh no, I'm talking about in comparison to how much the women are protective of their men. There's so many shows on YouTube that are constantly talking about what Black women do, what Black women look like.
Listen, for one, you referencing YouTube, that's only hurting their argument. What I'm saying is, tell me how African American women protect African American men. In conversation, in
conversation, in experience. No. Okay, tell me in ways African American men respect African American women in conversation. You guys are constantly, and I'm not, and everybody will attest to that. You guys are constantly having strong.
I'm not talking about
these women. And my opinion, to be honest with you. And, we're just dialoguing, right? My opinion as an African woman, as a Black woman who relates to this sisterhood, my opinion is it's tiring. There is. It is tiring to hear this every time.
Listen.
The Black woman did this. The Black woman did not do it. It's like send back to sender. The African woman does not want a man that is constantly bashing women from their culture. That is toxic and scary.
You do realize that if you just keep on talking, that don't mean that you right. It just means you just blocking somebody else from saying anything. The point I'm making,
you can speak.
When I asked you, how do Black African American women protect Black men? You said in conversation, but in real life, They are calling the police on black men over frivolous. I'm not saying them to do beating you up. You also can leave them, but they prefer to stay in a physically abusive relationship, but just use the police to referee it. They're weaponizing child support against black men. The dude is watching his kids. He's giving you what he can. You want more, so you go to child support and try to hold the guy's feet to the fire.
And in fact, Brandon, let me interject. African woman, I challenge you, because they're on Zoom now. I want you to sit in on these child support and divorce proceedings on Zoom. I want you just to sit in.
No, to be honest with you, I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Just listen.
Sure. Yeah.
And just listen and watch. Like after this experience, I'm just like, I mean,
look at this. Look at this. So what I'm saying here, African woman, is this.
Right.
When I asked you to tell me how black women protect black men in real life, you couldn't do that. You said in conversation. Now let me.
I also did ask you a question too, though. I asked you a question too.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna let you ask me a question. Wait a minute. Now, in real life, when a sister get beat up at an Asian market, hair store.
Hold on, let me stop you, Brandon. Here we go, After Woman. Asian nail salon. Where was it? Was it in Texas, Brandon?
Dude, in Atlanta, Texas, New York.
No, but I know which one. Okay, I think this was in either Detroit or it was in Texas.
Right.
Asian nail salon owner, male, cusses out, beats up this black woman. Black man comes the next day, throws a brick through the glass, boycotts it, tells them to get out.
Right.
He gets arrested. The next day after that, the next day, line wrapped around the building, sisters trying to get pedicures and manicures. And dude comes up, he got out on bail. And he's just like, I tried to help you sisters out, but y'all...
They don't care.
Would we say that those women were not aware of what happened the day before?
Yeah, they were. Come
on now. You guys are out here generalizing. You guys are generalizing too. Come on. You guys are generalizing too. Come on.
Listen,
you got to agree.
Dynas, I'm going to give you a personal example. I'm going to give you two. I literally went to a hair supply place when the women was getting beat up by the Asians in the hair supply places in Compton. I went to a hair supply place. I literally saw a line of black women. This was during COVID. They couldn't go in. So I went and talked to them like, why do you guys want to keep coming to these places when these people abuse y'all and beat y'all up and stuff? The girls basically was like, I got to fix my hair. I don't care about that. Let me
interject, Brandon. African woman. So even they knew what happened. The women knew what happened. But even after that, they were in line waiting. This is before COVID protocols. They were in line waiting. He came up and other brothers came up and said, listen, this is what happened. This is the brother. Why are you guys waiting in line? You know what these sisters were saying? Where else are we going to go? Where else are we going to go?
Dynas, wow. What happened to the sisterhood, though? That this woman says exists. If somebody beat the dog crap out of your sister, you gonna go spend your money with an African woman?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
But African woman, that's what's going on. These Asian beauty supply stores and nail salons are beating sisters' butt, and sisters are going back that same day, next day, breaking bread because they don't know where else to go.
Which proves that this sisterhood that you think exists, it does not exist. This is just women running their mouth and saying anything they can to try to make men wrong, which is what.
Okay, I have a quick question. Do you, because some of the things that you did say struck, it had reasoning in it, of course, right? But do you agree that it sounds a little bit general, it looks like so much generalization, like, oh, African American women do this, and then the other brother that came on and was like, oh, keep them away from African women, the African woman or the African American woman, the mouth. It sounds like a strong generalization. And when you switch it, you guys being white and then us being black, right? You've been in power, like as men, you've been in power for so. I'm just saying, if you look at the way it sounds like this supremacy, this masculinity.
Where have we been? Where have we been in power at? First of all, we are not in power in America. And first of all, Eddie Murphy said this before anybody in 1980 about bringing African women to America. Don't do it, right? She'll be messed up. Also, I want to ask you a question.
Oh my goodness.
I want to ask you a yes or no question.
Go ahead.
And then I want to piggyback. Are you married?
Of course, I am married. That's why I'm talking about it.
Okay, so I guarantee you, are you married to another Nigerian dude?
No.
Okay, you married to a white guy?
No, I'm married to an African American guy that grew up in Africa.
Perfect. So here's
but you live in Africa.
He grew up in Africa completely. He stayed in Africa as long as I did, and we came to the U.S. at the same time.
So he's an African. He's an African man.
Basically.
So this is what I'm telling you. Your husband just let you talk crazy to him in his house. He let you just disrespect him. Nigga, you ain't shit. Get out. He let you do that?
We see each other as equal. So
but does he allow you to do that, or do you do that to him?
I'm a pretty mouthy person, as you can tell.
Yeah, but you ain't disrespectful.
I mean, I'm not gonna pretend and act like an angel. I'm a pretty mouthy person.
Have you ever told your husband, nigga, you ain't shit?
I don't remember that, but maybe I'm even saying worse than that. Let's be honest. Right. Come on now.
No, she hasn't.
So the point I'm making is this. You ain't never said that to your husband. I could already tell. Period. But if what we're saying is not, it doesn't really apply to you, right?
Yes, that's correct.
You have women who are absolutely out of control, feel like they can say anything to a man, and that man is supposed to tuck his tail and yes, baby, anything you say. You literally have that. So these are the women we're directing this at, the women who cry, I can't find nobody.
Right.
Your mouth is hurting you. You come on to defend them, but in reality, you probably don't even hang around women like that.
To be honest with you, I'm not defending those women. I'm actually just saying, there are a lot of us who want to hear what you're saying, but sometimes the words or the way it's depicted sounds like a strong generalization, as though your women they're not good women, African-American women out there that are responsible, but men just treating them wrong in some situations. You can't act like black men are innocent either.
Is men treating them wrong, or is it them choosing the wrong men? Because if you go get with you a Pookie and a Ray Ray, you know what's coming with that.
Of course.
All these girls is fighting over who gonna date the hardest gangbanger from the neighborhood. Let's be real. Dynas, when you was growing up, who was these girls in your neighborhood trying to date?
Say that one more time.
When you was growing up, who was them girls in your neighborhood trying to date when you was growing up in high school?
The athletes and the I guess the thugs or whatever.
The thugs.
Yeah.
Right. The athlete, he get a scholarship, he go to college. You feel me? The thug's still there. Once the athletes is gone, the girls all gonna start going for the thugs. Then when they get pregnant, she's a victim. You knew you was letting Pookie run up in you, but that's just the way it is. And we're not absolving you from that. I got 5 sisters. I've seen it all. There's nothing, you can't tell me nothing. I watch my mother tell my sister, you ain't getting no abortion. You having that baby so we can get a welfare check. I watched that happen.
Damn.
So when I speak about women, I'm not gonna speak off something I don't know. I watched it. I watched my mom mess up my sister's lives by not mothering them and putting rules for them. So they all went out and got pregnant in high school, dropped out of high school and stuff like that. I've watched generation after generation of women sabotaging their own daughters. We're not even going to talk about what they do to the sons, right? But I've watched women sabotage their own daughter. Did you see the movie Precious? Do you think that they was making that shit up? That's based on shit that really happens in our community. But we keep blaming men. We blame the absent father, but never consider the present mother who's dragging her kids down. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, black women in America have no accountability. They can just blame everything on the black man, and everyone's going to say, yeah, you're right. His daddy wasn't around. That's why he's messed up. There's kids whose dads died So they're automatically screwed? No. Many successful people didn't have their dad in their life. My dad was in my life to an extent, then he went to prison. I did okay. That's why I did okay. I got away from my mother when I was 14. I went to live with my grandfather. My brother, he stayed with my mother. He ended up the most coolest dude you'll ever meet. Wouldn't hurt a fly. The guy ended up in prison, bro. If you would have asked anybody, which one of these two you think will go to prison, they would have said Brandon for sure. More aggressive, always fighting, bad temper. But when I got away from my mother, I was able to be trained by my grandfather. My brother stayed. He the one who took all the falls. Why? Because my mother was more worried about finding love, finding romance, still to this day, 50-something years old, not married. She was so busy worried about chasing romance, she did not have time to raise my brother, who's 1 year younger than me, and my sisters who are younger than him. So they were all just left to be taken advantage of by the world. You have hundreds of thousands of stories of this happening. And then when men step up and say, you guys can't take care of our children, you guys aren't doing right by our children, it's always this pushback and, oh, we're abusing women and we're generalizing and all this stuff. No, we're not. We're taking what they're doing and we're putting it in front of them and saying, look, this is what you're doing. And they don't want to look. So they go crazy, scream, writhe and gyrate so they don't have to look at what's really going on.
I do have a quick question for you, Brandon, if you don't mind. I see now that because you just explained your own family situation and you definitely kept it 100% real. So it's coming from, I think it's coming from a tough love situation. Now, my question is there a way, right, to call these, like, for example, are you married to an African woman or an African-American woman?
African-American.
Okay. So she's definitely from that side of women that you are talking about that you would like more African-American women to look like, correct? So is there a way, right, to speak on that and speak on the ills and the positives or the negatives without pitting African-American women against African women? Not that that's what you're blatantly doing, but that's what it sounds like, as though, oh, there's no hope for African-American women. Just run and go to Africa and carry a whole new bag of drama.
Well, I don't know.
Again, I think the point you're missing, African woman, is this wicked system that can be weaponized at any minute. That's the point you're missing. We're not pitting African-American women versus African women, because I hear horror stories from my Nigerian family, right, about Igbo women. Boy, the minute they show up,
you gotta go to Igbo route. I mean, what's up with you? Why you gotta go to Igbo route? What you gotta say?
I'm just saying. That's where I hear stories from. The minute they get to the U.S., boy, and they figure out the system,
it's over.
I hear it. I
just wanted to, come on here and just say, right, that it's, as an African woman, right, it did, and my own experience in America, my personal experience, to be honest with you, my humble personal experience has been a lot of times African-American men just constantly having some issue that they're constantly complaining about their women. That may not be what you're doing, but that has been my experience so far. And I just wanted to speak on it as an African woman to let African-American women know that this doesn't make us feel good. This is not the hope or whatever. I'm just, letting you know we have different opinions about that when it comes to, what you're saying. That's all I just wanted to say.
I don't know if you've heard of the ADOS movement, but there's a lot of women in that movement, and they have no problem blaming you guys for all their problems.
I know them definitely very well, but that does not mean the truth should not be said.
Here's the thing. Black women don't have no issue comparing us to white men. Oh, y'all, even in the comments, oh, this is some butt broken, defeated black man talk. They have no problem. But when we do it, oh, go easy on them. Go easy. Don't tell them what they really doing. Hell no. I'm going to tell them straight up. Let me tell you, one of the reasons why my wife is different, my wife was raised in a two-parent home. Black men, if you want a black woman that you could marry and be with, you got to avoid every last one of them who grew up without a daddy in the house. I'll tell you that straight up. That's one of the major things I think makes a difference with my wife and most other Black women. My own sisters grew up without a father in the home, and they came up not understanding male authority. So they went out and dated Pookie and Ray Ray. They never experienced love from a man who wasn't trying to freaking run up in them. So they confused, yo, this dude wants to have sex with me and pump me full of babies for love. That's what they did. Why? My mom got married, got divorced, right? Was it the guy's fault? No, it was her fault. Now, then after that, guy after guy after guy after guy showing my sisters, well, just let a bunch of dudes test drive your shit and they don't never gotta buy. You know what I'm saying? And that's totally fine. Now my sisters do the same thing my mama do.
All right, Jennifer, go ahead. Igbo Kwenu, Jennifer. Igbo Kwenu.
Hi, everybody. So the only thing I have to add to it is I understand, both sides. I'm in America, and I am a born Nigerian, an Igbo woman, and I have guy friends. And my Nigerian guy friends who end up meeting women, regardless of whether they're Black American or Nigerian or any African continent, they all have the same problem, which is, she's loudmouth. They all want to go back to Nigeria and marry a woman and bring her here. And I keep on telling them, listen, it's not conducive for you to do that, because at the end of the day, when she comes over, she's going to assimilate to this culture. And when she assimilates to this culture and she starts mingling with all the females who are totally different from the females that she was used to back home, it becomes a problem, because we come from a patriarchy society where till today, if my father tells me to jump, I will jump. If my father says sit down, I will sit down. So it's difficult when a woman comes from a society that has kept her crippled a little bit, and now come to a society where she sees so much freedom and she sees women like herself experiencing the so-called freedom. She feels like she's in bondage, because now whatever her husband tells her when she was in Nigeria, it was yes and amen. As soon as she comes to America, it becomes, who are you talking to? And the most problem at most of the time is when African women or Nigerian women, I cannot generalize other African countries, but when most Nigerian women come here and they end up studying nursing is the main issue. When they come to America and start studying nursing, they change completely, because the husband that they married, maybe he was a taxi driver. Okay, but as soon as they go into nursing, this man puts the bill for their education, helps them to get to where they need to go. They switch up, because now they're making more than him, and now they're looking at him like, who are you to talk to? So as I said, I cannot really speak for the Black American women, because I'm not from here, but I see what is going on. And for me, I would say again, it has to do with culture. I come from a country that has a lot to do with culture. And culture is, I would say, can hold people captive, but also keep them in line. So as a Nigerian Igbo woman, I know, okay, at the end of the day, when I do get married, my husband is the head and I'm the neck. And that's one thing people fail to understand, is when the husband is, I'm trying so hard to articulate it very properly. When the husband is the head, most Nigerian men tend to lord it over the women, making them feel like, they're nobody, that they're, less than. But they forget that without the neck, the head cannot function. So it's time for women to understand their position. Yes, it's okay for you to let the man lead, but you have to understand that you as the neck, the man needs you to support him and to hold him together. I will give you an instance with my family. My father is the head of the family. My mother is his neck. But at the end of the day, whatever my father said is is basically yes and amen in my home. There isn't any, oh, mommy, I'm going to do this. And my father says, don't do it. But my mom says, you can go ahead. No. Whenever I want something, my mom will be like, have you asked your dad? Even as old as I am till today, my mom will say, have you spoken to your dad about it? And if I say no, she'll say, go talk to your dad, because if you don't, I'm going to tell her. And when she tells him, my father called me and give me his final decision on whatever it is that I was trying to do or I wanted. And that's the principle. I grew up on that kind of principle. So what I'm trying to drive at is the culture and the family system is what is broken in America. That's why there's so much dysfunction in the society. So that's all I have to say.
And honestly, that's the way it works in my house. Okay, my wife is smart, right? Smarter than me about a lot of stuff. But if my wife wants to do something and I say like, nah, we're not doing that, my wife is gonna be like, are we not doing that? If my daughter want to do something, my wife hit me, hey, Samira want to do this. If I say no, it's not going down. If I say yeah, it's cool. It's not that the husband's lording over the wife. It's just that the wife is acknowledging the authority of her husband. If your wife acknowledges your authority, you don't have to try to enforce your authority on anybody. That's why I'm telling you, go find you a woman who come from a 2-parent household. You keep hearing these women, stop generalizing all African-American women. We're not generalizing anything. We sat up and said, these women who come from 2-parent households, and some women just don't understand how to submit to the authority of a man. Not all African-American women are bad. That's true. But the most loudmouth women of the African-American female group are the ones who don't want to submit to real men. You guys, even the thoughts will submit. They submit every night to Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Every night. But they won't submit to real men because they know that if you submit to a real man, he's going to expect something from you. Look, boo, you got to do your part too. You submit to Pookie and Ray Ray, he just needs you for 30 seconds or 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying, to run up in you, and then he's back to the streets, and you're left free to go operate in dysfunction. And that's what our women do. They sacrifice real relationships to have the freedom that comes with being in dysfunctional relationships with Pookie and Ray Ray. If the dude's always in jail, he can't stop you from going out thotting and hitting the club every night and all that stuff. So when you get a man, when you look at a man who's not always in jail, you're like, nah, I don't want to give up my freedom. I'd rather just keep putting money on Pookie's books. I'd rather keep putting money on Ray Ray or answering Ray Ray's phone calls, because then I just got to deal with him for a little while. Then I go back to thought and whatever. So it's obvious. The game is obvious with Black American women. They don't think that we know the game, but we know the game. You're not fooling anybody. The jig is up. So either you're going to stop doing it or you're going to run the risk of losing your men. Then you'll be forced to go with those white guys. And let me tell you something. Contrary to what Black women believe, what they've been told on TV and Coca-Cola commercials before you watch a movie in the theater, all these Black dudes and other races ain't just itching to be with Black women. Because if you think we're saying something harsh, what do you think they think? Because we looking at y'all like, yeah, Black women talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, you know, they do care. They got a heart. These dudes is looking at y'all like savages. Why? Because that's the way y'all act. That's the way y'all act. And then a lot of them also are intimidated against y'all because they looking at you like, damn, she probably been taking some straight slongs and I can't compete with that. So they also don't talk to you. And I used to work in a company, Sanctuary Capital, with a bunch of white dudes. And they would tell you why they don't like Black women. And a lot of them was like, dude, I ain't trying to follow up no freaking Mandingo. I ain't trying to deal with a woman who could beat me up and stuff. They have these notions about Black women. So y'all got about 20 or 30 years of reconditioning and changing y'all attitude before white men and Asians just in mass come and try to marry y'all and swoop y'all up, bro. The Black women who get men outside of their race, they're getting the lowest of the low. That's period. Y'all are dating the bottom feeders of white society because the top most eligible dudes, they are with white women and sometimes they're Asian. Y'all getting a dude like my homegirl. She not even my homegirl. She married a dude talking about gonna lie to us, telling us he's a doctor. White dude. Man.
But Brandon, I want you to really expand on that, because this is something I'm noticing too. Because I lived in LA.
This is my wife's friend.
Because I lived in LA. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Sisters are getting with these white dudes. And these white dudes are telling them anything. They're not verifying anything. They're getting knocked up. They're not even getting child support out of these white dudes or Latino dudes. They're not getting nothing out of them. Nothing. Are they not even attempting to get anything out of them?
Fam,
so
they
go ahead.
Dinus, they get with a white dude. The dude turned out to be a deadbeat. They will hide it.
They will hide
it. And like my wife's friend, oh, he's a doctor, girl. Ryan, where did that fool end up working at? That white boy, your homegirl married?
I don't remember, but that shit was funny as hell.
Right. She's like, he's a doctor. Right? So they end up getting married. So they have the wedding in Vegas. My wife and her mother, my wife's mom did the wedding planning for them because she owns a wedding planning business.
My mom,
hey, listen, my mother-in-law is too cold, bro. She got next to his mom and was like, oh, I hear your son's a doctor. I'm so, you must be so proud. The mom looked at her like amazed. He's not a doctor. Do you know that this girl went through courtship to the point of marriage with this guy, believing that this man was a doctor?
Man, Brandon, you don't understand how many cases of that I saw when I was in LA. Like, these chicks were getting with these white dudes, not vetting them. They were telling them anything. Then when shit hit the fan, they were looking stupid. And then, like you said, they try to hide it and cover it up.
Look, and then when you realize it, and then, you know, the black girl, she didn't humble herself for the white dude, right? She ain't running that mouth to the white dude like she do us, right? So when he reveals to her, like, yeah, I was just using you, or I don't got no money, she won't even go like at him like she would a black dude who lied, right?
Right.
So then she makes a choice. Well, if I, like, okay, there's a YouTuber, I forgot her name, but she was dating a white dude, and he recently dumped her ass. She's an African. She got a bald head. I forgot her name. But she was dating a white dude, and he dumped her, right? She's on YouTube crying over this dude. Oh, he left me and all this stuff. And the reality was, like, she started an argument with the dude, and the dude was like, I'm not dealing with this shit, and he just left her. Black women have a one-strike rule. White men have a one-strike rule with black women. If this chick, it's basically like slavery again. If this chick ever gets out of line with me, I'm going to drop her ass like a bad habit, baby or not. Here's the thing. Black guys, we keep giving black women chance after chance after chance after chance. These other races aren't doing that. These dudes is not about to deal with this chick got an attitude every other day of the week. You feel me? She's trying to curse me out. She don't want to get up and cook. She don't want to clean up nothing. They're not. So black women literally change who they are. And I'm going to say this too. Black men do the same thing when they marry white chicks. They change who they are. That's why you got two groups of black people fronting, trying to go against who they really are to appease white people so that they can say, oh, I got me a white boy. If this is the case, where are these white guys who are lined up to marry black women? They would be married, right? If all these
sound went out, Brandon. Your sound went out. Your sound went out.
Dinus, where are all these white guys who are lined up to marry black women? Why are black women the most unmarried group in America if all these white dudes are just itching like a crackhead to marry them? Why aren't they married?
I don't know, but guys, what we'll do, we'll go in and close out. It's almost 11 o'clock out here. Y'all know I can't be doing these 2-3 hour streams. So
V.I. Jones said, Brandon, we do not care. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you do. Or you wouldn't.
Okay, we'll bring one more person on. Rami. Go ahead. Rami. Mute yourself. Okay, we go. All right, go ahead and close out, Brandon.
Hey man, listen. Where are all these men lined up to marry you? They're not around. Why? They're not trying to go behind Pookie and Ray Ray. That's the reality. They're not trying to take care of your 3 and 4 kids. Stop acting like y'all just got one kid and y'all, you know what I'm saying? You drinking your water and doing your exercises. No. A lot of you guys, not all, a lot, overweight, loudmouth, argumentative, disrespectful, and just straight up abrasive. With a bunch of kids by a bunch of dudes who just as ignorant and loudmouth as you. You're going to either get right or you get left behind. You guys are we're the most educated, the most single, and the most unmarried. But all you guys think y'all about to go get y'all Brad or whatever, right? I want to see it. If that's the case, y'all wouldn't be crying yourself to sleep, drinking 4 bottles of wine in one night, listening to Beyonce music for strength while she lays up with Jay-Z and her happy family. The proof is in the pudding. It's going to tell on you before you tell on it. And we need to cut the bull crap and start being real with ourselves. And maybe we'll be able to make some progress. Thank you for having me, Dynast.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynast, Search for Huru. Peace.